What's up, guys?
MrBeast messed up.
MrBeast.
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 MrBeast. MrBeast has
MrBeast.
MrBeast, who once seemed like a YouTube saint, is now neck deep in controversy, and it's not looking pretty. We're talking about a guy who's racked up more L's recently than a professional Pokémon trainer who only catches Magikarps. It all kicked off with his latest venture, Beast Games, which was supposed to be a next-level reality show, but ended up as more of a horror story. Imagine this: contestants signed up thinking they'd be part of something epic, but instead they were thrown into what sounds like a mix between Survivor and a really bad episode of Fear Factor. We're talking about injuries, sleep deprivation, and participants allegedly getting shipped off in stretchers. Then there's the hypocrisy that's got everyone riled up. MrBeast has always claimed that his content is 100% legit, no fakes, no setups, but people are starting to think otherwise. Ethan Klein from the H3 podcast didn't hold back, calling him out for allegedly chilling on a luxury yacht while his contestants were suffering. It's like inviting your friends to a BBQ and then you sneak off to a 5-star restaurant while they're stuck flipping burgers in the rain. Not a good look, right? Klein even went as far as saying that MrBeast is losing touch with reality, pointing out how out of sync he seems with the everyday struggles of those not living in a mansion. Legwood Argren is another YouTuber took a more ethical approach, saying it's one thing to push boundaries, but it's another to push people to the breaking point for the sake of entertainment. Legwood's not wrong. There's a fine line between creating engaging content and exploiting your participants, and it seems MrBeast might have crossed it with this one. But let's not forget about the fans. The people who have put MrBeast on this pedestal. They're divided like never before. Some are fiercely loyal, saying that this is just a bump in the road and that haters are blowing things out of proportion. They point to his massive philanthropic efforts, like when he gave away millions to strangers or restored the sight of 1,000 blind people, as proof that he's still a good guy at heart. On the flip side, you've got fans who feel seriously let down. These aren't just casual viewers. These are people who bought the merch, who watched every video, who believed in the whole doing good narrative. Now they're asking themselves, is this really the guy we've been supporting? The shady working conditions, the resurfaced offensive comments, it's all starting to feel like a betrayal. One Twitter user summed it up by saying, "I thought MrBeast was different, but I guess money changes everyone." Speaking of betrayals, let's talk about the skeletons tumbling out of MrBeast's closet. You see, in today's internet age, nothing stays buried forever. Clips from years ago have resurfaced where he's caught making some pretty questionable jokes that are racially insensitive and homophobic. And before you say, oh, but everyone said dumb stuff when they were younger, remember, this isn't just anyone. This is MrBeast, the guy with a massive, mostly young audience. The backlash here isn't just about what he said. It's about the responsibility that comes with having such influence. The criticism has been brutal. Some say he should have known better even back then, while others argue that he should be using his platform now to make amends, to educate, to do something more than just dodging the issue. The YouTube community and beyond are demanding accountability. A few creators, like Philip DeFranco, have mentioned that it's not just about canceling someone, it's about expecting them to grow and learn from their mistakes. But the big question remains, is MrBeast doing that, or is he just trying to ride out the storm? Rosanna Pansino, usually known for her cheerful baking content, is one of the loudest voices calling out MrBeast. She's not just dipping her toes into the drama, she's cannonballing in. Pansino alleges that MrBeast's production crew crosses some serious lines, including bizarre and invasive practices like confiscating contestants' personal items, including their underwear and medication. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't some twisted subplot from a dystopian novel. It's what she claims went down behind the scenes of the Beast Games. And it doesn't stop there. Pansino also accused MrBeast of hiring a crisis PR firm with connections to none other than Harvey Weinstein's team, which is about as damning as it gets in the world of public relations. Adding fuel to the fire is the revelation that MrBeast has engaged high-profile lawyers and PR fixers to manage this mess. It's like watching a disaster blockbuster movie in slow motion, except this time it's the king of YouTube desperately trying to stop his empire from crumbling. Rosina's claims suggest that MrBeast isn't just dealing with PR hiccups. He's in full-blown damage control mode, possibly to cover up some unsavory truths. The scandals don't end with production issues. Jake Franklin, also known as Jake the Viking, dropped a bombshell by revealing that an employee at MrBeast's company, nicknamed Delaware, has a troubling past. This guy was allegedly involved in inappropriate behavior, and the fact that he was hired at all raises some serious questions about MrBeast's hiring practice. Jake's revelations are like finding a rotten apple in a supposedly pristine basket. What else could be lurking beneath the surface? Despite MrBeast's attempts to play the transparency card by launching internal investigations and trying to communicate with the public, the internet isn't buying it. His girlfriend, Thea Boonstein, has stepped in to defend him, saying that many of the accusations are exaggerated or downright false. But let's be real, when the stink of controversy is this strong, no amount of air freshener is going to clear the air completely. And if the public shaming wasn't enough, there's a potential legal storm brewing too. The conditions on the Beast game set have people asking, was any of this even legal? There's talk about possible violations of labor laws, especially concerning the safety and treatment of participants. It's one thing to push the envelope for the sake of content, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're putting people's health and safety on the line. One particularly scathing take came from a lawyer turned YouTuber, Legal Eagle, who pointed out that MrBeast might have crossed some serious legal lines. If the allegations are true, we're looking at potential lawsuits that could cost millions, he said. This isn't even just a bad press. This could be a financial and legal nightmare. So how's MrBeast handling it all? Well, in classic crisis management fashion, he's issued statements, apologized here and there, and promised to look into the Beast Games debacle. But here's the thing, many people aren't buying it. It's like trying to put out a forest fire with a garden hose. His apologies have come off as scripted, and his promises to review the situation feel like too little, too late. YouTuber and critic CoffeeZilla didn't mince words, saying this isn't just a PR issue, it's a character issue. You can't just throw money at this and hope it goes away. CoffeeZilla's point is clear. MrBeast needs to do more than just issue statements. He needs to take real, visible actions to address the problems. And let's be real, MrBeast's empire was built on the idea of doing good, of being the nice guy on YouTube. If he doesn't fix this, if he doesn't show that he's willing to change and learn, that empire could crumble faster than a YouTuber's ad revenue during an apocalypse. So what's next for MrBeast? It's hard to say. On one hand, he has resources and influence to turn this around. He can invest in better safety measures for his participants, donate to causes that align with making up for past mistakes, and really take responsibility for his actions. But on the other hand, if he chooses to ignore the critics, if he decides that his fan base will stick by him no matter what, he might just ride out the controversy and continue business as usual. But that's a risky gamble. One thing's for sure, everyone's watching, from die-hard fans to his harshest critics. All eyes are on MrBeast. If he pulls through and makes things right, he could set an example for creators everywhere on how to handle controversy and come out stronger. But if he doesn't, well, we might just be witnessing the fall of one of YouTube's biggest stars. Imagine setting up for what you think is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, only to find yourself in what sounds like a twisted mix of Survivor and Fear Factor, but with less care for your well-being. The more MrBeast tries to control the narrative, the more it seems like he's got something to hide. But let's not forget the skeletons tumbling out of MrBeast's closet. Old clips of him making violent remarks have resurfaced, and no amount of "I was young and dumb" excuses can really wash that away. Sure, everyone makes mistakes, but when you're someone with as much influence as MrBeast, Beast, those mistakes are a lot harder to ignore. The internet has a long memory, and these days, nothing stays buried forever. People are finally speaking up about MrBeast, and it's causing a lot of chatter. More and more folks are questioning what's really going on behind the scenes of his videos. Allegations of unsafe conditions, shady hiring, and old offensive comments are surfacing. It's making everyone think, is MrBeast really the good guy we thought he was? Or is there a darker side to his success? This conversation is heating up, and it's clear that his image is taking a major hit.